This lesson's about change. The biggest thing we need to realize about change is if it doesn't challenge you, it's not going to change you. When we look at our lives, there's a lot of things that we need to change to get the direction we want to go. We've got to think about change in a positive way. Every new day is another chance to change our lives. Every morning, every moment is a chance for us to change the way we do things, to do things better, to get us the direction we want to go. Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. So we've got to take a good hard look at our lives, the direction we're going, and the things we do day in and day out to really see what changes we need to make. If you do not change your direction, you may end up where you're heading. Again, that goes back to looking at ourselves, really truly evaluating our daily actions, our habits, and those things to make sure we're going in the direction we want to go. Winston Churchill said it best, to improve is to change, to be perfect is to change often. We've got to continually monitor ourselves, continually look to see the direction we're going to make sure we're getting the progress we want and expect. So with change, I've come up with an acronym with all the letters. C stands for consequences. A responsible choice is a choice that creates consequences that you're willing to assume responsibility for. Right now, every action, everything we do has a consequence. So we've got to look ahead and look at the final result, the consequences that we want, the outcome that we desire. And now we have to step back and look, what things do I do day in and day out that are going to get me the consequences I want? What things am I not doing that I need to begin doing to get the consequences I want? And what things am I doing right now that are taking me away from the consequences I don't want? Some people want to lose weight and they got to look at, every calorie counts. Everything we do matters. For everything we do, there is a consequence and an action. You can eat the Twinkie now for short pleasure and gain, but in the end, is it getting you to the consequence? Is it getting where you want to go? The H stands for habits. Chains of habits are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. What this means is every action you have, 90%, they say 80% of the day are your habits. When you wake up, when you brush your teeth, the way you get dressed, the way you prepare yourself every morning, the way you get to work or school, how you, what you eat or drink, who you hang out with, how you come home, what rituals or what things do you do when you get home. Those are all habits. So you've got to do a self-assessment and find out what habits don't line up with the results or the consequences you want. You've got to take away habits that take you away from the direction you want to go, and you've got to add the small habits that get you to the direction you do want to go. Again, this is a lot of self-evaluation you're going to have to do. You're going to have to spend time and look at yourself in the mirror and say, what habits do I do right now that are beneficial to me, that help me achieve the goals I want? And what habits do I do right now that are detrimental to me, and how can I change those? Again, these habits are built into our system. It's going to take a long time, 21 plus days, to change a habit. And remember, you're where you are right now because of a lot of small decisions and small habits you've made over the course of time. There's a great example about a ship. A ship continually changes its course to get to its final destination, from the west coast of Europe to the east coast of the United States. If the captain never continually made small, minor adjustments to get to port, he would be so far off course because of the waves of the ocean and all the things in his way. So we've got to continually make small adjustments to our habits to end up to the goal we want to have. So once we've determined our consequences, the consequences ones, once we've evaluated the habits we have and then what habits we need, we've got to take action. Action is the foundational key to all success. You can do all the self-assessments in the world. You can come up with the greatest greatest goals, the greatest game plan, and you know exactly what habits to do. But if you never take the actions, it's for naught. You must follow all your work and all your preparation with action. And then when to start your action? Now, immediately. Muhammad Ali said it best. I hated training. I hated every minute of training. But I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. And the Chinese proverb says it best. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time is now. We had all been better off to change the bad habits we've had a long time ago. Maybe it's the way we brush our teeth. Maybe it's our exercise routine. Maybe it's our eating habits. Or maybe it's our social relational habits. But we can't change the past, but the second best time to change is now. The next letter we talk about is growth. So we have consequences. We have our habits that we have to change. We have actions we need to take. We know we need to do it now. And so we don't lose sight, because if our goal is to lose 50 pounds, we're not going to lose 50 pounds in 2 days. It's going to take a lot of time. So we've got to self-assess, and we've got to see continual growth. We've got to measure our growth and our progress. Benjamin Franklin says this: without continual growth and progress, such words as improvement, achievement, and success have no meaning. So we've got to take small goals, small steps, and we've got to see the growth we're having and build on the small successes we see daily and weekly, knowing that the ultimate goal is much, much further down the road. And with growth, the next letter becomes E. So we've talked about our consequences of if we don't change. We talked about the habits that are going to take us where we want to go, or the habits that are going to derail us. We talked about taking action. We talked about doing it now. We talked about measuring continual growth as we go along to keep us going. And finally, we have the E, which stands for enthusiasm and effort. Ralph Waldo Emerson says it best: enthusiasm is the mother of effort, and without it, nothing great was ever achieved. And Winston Churchill says this: continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking our potential. We must sit here and understand, every day we must wake up with a desire, with enthusiasm, giving great effort, knowing we're going to have pitfalls along the way, knowing it's going to be tough, knowing we're going to have setbacks and failures. But as long as we continue to move forward, as long as we continue to give great effort, as long as we attack every day with great enthusiasm, we're going to make the changes we need. We're going to see the consequences change. We're going to see the small habits change. We're going to see the action we're taking now have growth. We're going to see progress, daily progress. But you have to attack every day with great enthusiasm and great effort. And Ray Lewis says this: wins and losses come a dime a dozen. We're going to win some battles and we're going to lose some battles. But effort, nobody can judge that, because effort is between you and you. So the change is on you. Everything is based on you. Nobody can do the change for you. Nobody can judge your effort. Nobody can judge your heart. You've got to go out and attack the day. You've got to make the changes you want to be the person you want to be, not the person somebody else wants you to be, not the person your mom wants you to be, your husband, your wife, your son, your daughter. It's got to be the person you want to be. And you've got to give great effort. You've got to put in time to find the habits you need to change, the action plan you need to take. You need to start. You need to invest in yourself. You need to give great enthusiasm and great effort every day. You do these things on a daily basis. Invest in yourself. You're going to see big changes down the road.